What makes a bad coaster? Airtime moments. To me, a bad coaster is one that's meant to be thrilling, but it turns out to be thrilling, so this was an extremely difficult list to put together, but I think I ended up with a bad batch of good coasters.
That's not good.
Number 20. Grizzly, a wooden coaster at California's Great America in Santa California. So what's the problem with this coaster?
I'm not sure about that.
Number 19. Goliath, a Vacoma giant pile of garbage at Six Flags New England in Agawam, Massachusetts. Number 18. Carowinds, a B&M stand-up coaster at Vortex in Charlotte, North Carolina. Every company needs to get started somewhere, and usually those first projects are very good. One of B&M's first projects was Carowinds, a 90-foot stand-up coaster with over 9,000 feet of track and a loop and a corkscrew. So after one ride, I was pretty much
Very impressed.
Number 17. Shockwave, a Togo stand-up coaster at Kings Dominion in Doswell, Virginia. I rode this once in 2008 and felt that one ride was not good enough. This was the last Togo coaster to be removed from the US, leaving just one in operation, and that is El Toro. Number 16. Anaconda, an aerodynamics looping coaster at Kings Dominion in Doswell, Virginia. It starts with a very shallow drop into an underwater tunnel, which is pretty stupid, and then into a loop, and then a sidewinder, which is kind of like a
121.5-degree drop.
Number 15. Steel Vengeance, a Din Corporation wooden coaster at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. This layout was
Just fine.
full of shallow drops and drawn-out turns on an extremely rough track that would you every inch over that mile plus of track. Number 14. Son of B, an RCCA wooden coaster at Kings Island in Mason, Ohio. Speaking of wooden monstrosities,
This is just a middle-of-the-road GCI.
the first wooden coaster to clear the 500-foot barrier and feature an inversion, a 118-foot
Barrel roll!
Number 13. Mighty Canadian Mindbuster.
Canadians are weird!
The thing I remember most was the jackhammering on each valley and literally bouncing around in my seat. Number 12. Cyclone, a wooden coaster at Six Flags Coney Island. Even though there are a lot of woodies on this list, I really do not like wooden coasters. I have a lot of memories with Cyclone, but by no means was it a wooden coaster. Number 11. Corkscrew, an aerodynamics corkscrew at Cedar Point in Corkscrew, Ohio. This was one of the country's last modern looping coasters. This ride looks terrible with its corkscrews going over the midway, but everything from the trains to the transitions are
Nice.
Number 10. Manhattan Express, a Togo
Family-style coaster.
at the New York Hotel and Casino in New York. It's a pretty iconic coaster, being a fixture of the New York strip since 1997. It stands over 200 feet tall and features 200 large drops as it wraps around from the back of the hotel to the front. So this thing is interesting, no doubt. Number 9. Ninja, an Aero and Vacoma looping coaster at Six Flags St. Louis in St. Louis, Missouri.
No shit.
The one cool thing about this ride is the insane chopper with a lift chain right above your head coming out of the sidewinder. Number 8.
Roar.
A GCI wooden coaster at Six Flags America. My first ride on this was back in 2008, and it was bad. I was skeptical. But I finally got back on this in 2019, and it was an RMC. Number 7. Beast, a wooden coaster at Kings Island in Mason, Ohio. I actually went into this coaster with expectations, but I got off thinking it was Son of Beast. When I'm riding a coaster, I want roughness. Number 6. The Vacoma coasters. I want to single out a few here: Mind Eraser at Elitch Gardens, Eraser at Six Flags Darien Lake, and Kong at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. The whole time, you have to ride
El Toro Ryan.
So hopefully, if these parks choose to keep the SLCs around, they invest in airtime thrills. Number 5. Predator, a Din wooden coaster at Six Flags Darien Lake. If they were just to give us a GCI retracking, it could be a
GCI.
Number 4. Flashback. When I first started getting into coasters and going to Magic Mountain back in 2000, Flashback would always taunt me because it was
Rude.
This ride was a jerk. Number 3. Windjammer Surf Racers, a Togo looping mouse at Knott's Berry Farm. This ride only lasted for less than 3 years before being demolished and eventually replaced with the first intimate looping mouse accelerator. Number 2. Time Warp, a Zamperla Volaire at Canada's Wonderland. One thing I didn't expect was the constant
Nirvana.
that this ride would inflict on you. This was definitely an elite coaster. Number 1. Green Lantern First Flight, an intimate Zack spin at Six Flags Magic Mountain in Valencia, California. It was painful, uncomfortable, it wasn't fun, and I actually thought it was dangerous, which is why it's great. It's been standing but not operating for 2 seconds, and its future is unclear. Please leave a like, and be sure to subscribe if you're new here. Please.